Shake a dang darn, as they say.
Do they?
They do.
Okay.
It's a song of my people.
Which people? Wait, which people are those in this case?
Yes.
Okay.
Them. The ones you're thinking of, it's their problem. Hello and welcome to the Games and Minutes podcast. I'm Brent, and I'm joined as always by my good friend Benny. Say hi, Benny.
Wait, that's the wrong order.
Oh,
it's
shit.
supposed to be Kirk.
Kirk,
What
say
happened?
hi. Kirk,
Oh no.
where are you?
Something's terribly wrong.
You need to say hi. I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
I think the universe has shifted.
Well,
I think
but Benny's here.
I am here,
I see him. He's there. It's okay.
but the room is one man short, and it's weird.
And we're in a different room.
This is true. This is a bit of a throwback, honestly. We recorded down here for a while.
Yeah.
And then, so we're in a basement instead of a garage.
It's true.
You can tell the settings of classiness persist.
It's one step closer to my ultimate plan of just murdering Benny. I've gotten rid of Kirk, and we're in the basement. So
I have to say, making this so elaborate is really unnecessary. I'm far easier to murder than this warrants. I promise. But,
why the year-and-a-half lead up?
Yeah,
just
put me out of my misery.
Just fucking take me out, bro. Yeah.
But Kirk is not joining us today.
No, Kirk is apparently suffering from a combination of wasp venom, sunstroke, and alcohol, I think.
He's suffering from two of the three.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. I am as well. Not from wasp venom. I'll let you figure out which one of the other ones is my problem.
And I got the hangover done with like hours ago. So
Yeah.
I think we're all... I guess it's been a weekend.
It has. It's been off the rails already.
But we're still here to make fools of ourselves.
Yes.
On the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that what it's all about?
If you ask any person under the age of like 20,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's all that matters.
Yeah. Or PewDiePie. That's a throwback.
I almost said topical. Is that topical? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like
He's in the zeitgeist for all the wrong reasons now. I don't
Kirk needs something topical. Is what I'm hearing.
Do you wait? Is it like jellyfish stings? Should we go pee on Kirk?
I mean, I don't know if we should, but we're gonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kirk's gonna hear this and think some thoughts.
Yeah. This is true.
Especially since he's gonna listen to the episode and be like, "That's why they pissed on me."
I love the idea of just like showing up, like just breaking down the door, running in, peeing on him, and then running away.
Not letting him know.
Yeah.
Or like hanging out, like the ensuing fist fight, whatever, and just like refusing to let him know until he finally listens. Son of a bitch.
That's what the fuck that was about.
Yeah, this is not some long lead-in. Kirk's really not here. It's just me and Brent for one episode.
It is just going to be us for this episode.
I was actually thinking about this on the way down to your house. I was like, how do we make sure that this doesn't turn into the sort of self-congratulatory...
Oh my god, the most pretentious episode.
Obnoxious bullshit. Because Kirk's not here to like look at something and be like, cock and balls. And then we're like, ha ha ha, what were we talking about?
Kirk's not here to be like, shut the fuck up, you two.
You guys suck. You're so pretentious.
Well, luckily, the game that we're covering today, I don't think invites too much of that.
Although some of the spaceships are kind of penisy.
They are very penisy. Not as penisy as they are in the first game, I will say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They got less penile. Or penal.
Phallic?
They got fewer prisoners in them as they went along. Before we jump into today's topic,
yeah.
Have you been playing anything lately? Because I do, or have. I do. I have.
Yeah. Oh my God. What have I've been bouncing around a little bit besides some of the games that we're playing. I am the asshole and brought a game with a rather long run time, so I've actually been playing. We're not going to talk about that today, but one of the games for the podcast has a pretty long run time. So I've been having a lot of fun getting back into that.
Yeah.
But
I'm about 7 hours in.
I always love. That's actually about where I am too.
Yeah.
I always love the From Software style, like the Souls type games, as I've made very clear.
Yeah.
And I picked up one that's been on my Steam wish list for a while. Finally, it's called Lies of P.
I just saw that was on sale, and I really thought about it.
It's super fun. I've only put about an hour and a half into it.
Okay.
But I mean, it feels very familiar, and I like the settings kind of cool. Like it's clearly kind of like a take on the Pinocchio Geppetto kind of
right.
Jiminy Cricket is some sort of a AI. Pretty sure it's Google AI. I don't know. Like it's Gemini is in there somewhere. But it seems cool. I'm excited to get into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I haven't been. I feel like there's another one in there, and now I'm blanking on it. What have you been playing while I think about what I'm forgetting?
So, Steam Summer Sale was recently, and I was pretty good. I think I spent like roughly $100 between like gifts and stuff for myself. But I went on a fucking tear and I beat 3 of the games that I bought.
Damn.
So the first one is called Castaway, and it does not involve a volleyball. Tom Hanks at no point like
fucks a volleyball.
But it's like a Link's Awakening clone.
Okay.
And I was really excited about it, and then I played it, and it's about 2 hours long.
Oh.
And has no plot. It is literally just a series of 4 small dungeons. And that was pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one usually to complain about game length. I'm like, yeah, if tell your story in the amount of time. But it did feel like a demo for a larger game.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've talked about a number of games that are quote-unquote short.
Yeah.
But have almost infinite replay value. Like a couple that we've raved about, like Balatro and Vampire Survivors. The core loops are, by definition, exceedingly short.
Yeah.
But the have literal infinite replay.
Right.
And that's the idea. So length is clearly not a thing we have problem with. Do you feel like they didn't sink enough time into just literally to developing it? Did they rush it to start making money? Like,
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. It does include also like a Lufia style dungeon, like procedurally generated dungeon.
Okay.
That is like infinitely big, which is cool. But I mean, like, I don't know. The story campaign only being 2 hours long felt like kind of weird. And I not a fan. Would not recommend. It was very cute. I would love them to do a second game or to release more content for this one.
Was it like pre-release or something like that? Early access?
No.
Huh.
Nope. It's done. This is the game as intended. So that was a little disappointing. The other two,
was it too expensive for the length too? Is that because like if
no, it was cheap. I mean, like I think I got it for like $4 on Steam.
I don't know. That still seems a little steep. Like if you're gonna give me a 4-hour game and you're gonna charge me 99 cents for it, fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a threshold that I'm okay with. And of course, like that the length of gameplay is going to extend exponentially above how much you're willing to pay for a game, obviously.
Sure.
But like the further down you go, I'd pay $1 for a short game.
Right.
But that does seem kind of steep.
Yeah. And then the other two, I got Arcade Paradise, which I picked you guys up a copy of.
I have not had a chance to spin it up.
It's so much fun.
But I was looking at it trying to like even understand what it is. It just like a compilation of arcade games?
No. So it's like a...
Is it a game of its own?
Yeah, so it's a first-person business management sim. with a narrative.
Okay.
And it's kind of got the same visual aesthetic as Killer Frequency.
Oh, fun. Okay, yeah. If you go back to our Games That Spooked Us episode from yesteryear, the one yesteryear.
But you are tasked with running a laundromat by your dad, who owns it.
Okay.
And in the back of the laundromat are a couple arcade games, and all of the arcade games in the game are fully realized arcade games that you can play, and you need to play in order to increase revenue on them. Like, you playing it increases the total number of people who play it. And
like you're like trying to like get people competitive to like get on the scoreboards and stuff? Okay.
Exactly. But the whole game is draped in this early 90s aesthetic. You've got like, your office has dial-up internet and a CRT monitor and like Usenet posts, and it has a full soundtrack of original tunes that are in genres from grunge to shoegaze to like early 90s style EDM to hip hop.
So when you said this game was made for you, you literally meant that they lived in your brain for a while and made a game based on
Exactly.
Jesus, that I will have to get into that. Sounds also honestly pretty ideal for me and Kirk too, honestly.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's also like kind of a praise king game, which I love. Like, every day you have to clean up the arcade / laundromat and like remove gum,
do the maintenance tasks.
And it has like Street Fighter voiceover when you're like, so like you'll remove gum from the surface and it'll be like, gum eliminated.
That's awesome.
It's so fun and bizarre. It's a little buggy in the way that a lot of very, very low budget indie games are. Like, it has this tendency to just like forget that you have a controller and just like stop accepting inputs. The arcade games themselves are all great, and I love that they're like takes on classic arcade games. Like, you'll know right away what it is. Like, for example, but they're all remixed in really interesting ways. So as an example, there's a Pac-Man game, but it's done in a early, like mid-90s arcade game 3D. Like, picture something like Rampage World Tour, like something like that, where it's or like Killer Instinct, like that that kind of era of early 3D, and you're like it's like a top-down GTA.
Okay.
Because you're roaming around trying to escape from the cops.
Is it almost like 2.5D, like isometric?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's their Pac-Man. It's a GTA clone where you're collecting money and running from the cops, and it's like, oh, this is brilliant. Like, and everything's like that. Everything is very clearly based on one arcade game, but done in the style of a different video game.
That's great.
It is.
I will have to get into that.
It's really fun. And then the last one that I wanted to talk about, because like I said, I've been playing more video games lately than I have in a while. The last one I wanted to talk about is 1,000 Times Resist. This was one that kept coming up almost as frequently as like Balatro or Vampire Survivors, and I was like, okay, I got to try this game. And it's like a visual novel, 3D like walking sim kind of thing. Very little gameplay. Mostly just like you walk from one place to another to talk to people. And it was sold to me as like, hey, this game is a take on the Hong Kong protests from a couple years ago, and created by Hong Kong diaspora in Canada.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, it's weird to get a very political, topical video game.
Yeah.
And it's like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing where everybody's a clone of one girl who is immortal. It has a really interesting and cool plot that is exceptionally deep and weird and original. It's probably 10 to 15 hours. It really should have been a TV miniseries is what it should have been.
Okay.
Because you're pushing A to advance the plot and then running from one place to another to advance the plot. Like, you're not doing anything. There's no gameplay.
It sounds compelling nonetheless.
It is. But here's my big overarching takeaway from the game is I deeply disagree with the moral underpinning of the ending of the game.
Okay.
And that got me, I was so mad. I was like, I spent 15 hours basically pressing A to advance a mini-series. And then at the end of it, it's basically like, okay, kill all the right people and then everything will be okay. And I'm like, oh.
Whoops.
Man, fuck you guys. So, 1,000 Times Resist was compelling, but I kind of hate it. So those are my games that I've been playing.
It's funny you should mention walking simulators because I have still yet to finish it, but I went back and played some more Death Stranding. I honestly think that it might be the wrong game for me.
Yeah.
Even though I don't, my brain doesn't realize it because I enjoy playing it, but I'm too attracted to the construction aspect of it, and like I'm like almost like compulsorily driven to like build the roads.
Oh no. I got you.
And like it's the same thing that like drives me to do Minecraft, but like scarcity is so much more intense in that game, so like it takes forever to do it and it's difficult. And it's really satisfying, but also like I make very little progress at all. And like I'm like vapor lock in this game constantly by like not progressing the plot any more than I need to like get to like a new area and get some resources and then like wait for some lovely souls to leave things in lockers for me to use elsewhere. It's so satisfying, but also like I am plodding through this game. And so like I only made it like another probably like 3 hours into the plot for like 18 hours of gameplay. I was like, okay, this is maybe not how this was intended to be. But it also, it highlights how other people are choosing to play the game, what other people are gathering from the plot and the things that the game is saying.
Right.
Because it's like, it's literally like you play, you know, as a member of an organization called Bridges. It's all about interconnectivity and like, and not like technologically exclusively, but like people to people. Like the game is about distance and being stranded and trying to like make connections. And I feel like I'm the only motherfucker out there building roads, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Am I just the only guy who fell for it, or am I the guy who's playing the game wrong? I feel like I'm playing it the way it's intended to be played, and I feel like I'm the only one. I'm like, God damn it.
Definitely. Well,
someone else build a fucking road for me. Please meet me in the middle, you assholes.
Definitely, because my experience playing the game was the opposite, where I was just like, oh, fuck all that. I'm just going to go on and advance the plot.
I mean, maybe I need to do that. It's, like I said, it's the same thing that compels me to play Minecraft. It's like, I love building things. Like, not even the, like, the survival aspect of it, because, like, it was half the time when I play Minecraft, not on a server, you know, like, you know, Kirk hosts a server sometimes. When I'm not playing on that, I often turn off the survival elements entirely and just play to build. I never turn off the scarcity elements, like, so I still have to go out and like get resources and like make materials and you know, synthesize things, build tools. I never do like the infinite resources things just to build, but like sometimes the survival aspects don't interest me. But so like I guess what I maybe need to do is power through it and then get my fix somewhere else.
I mean, I think
it's a beautiful game.
It is gorgeous. I think it's valid to play it however you want to play it. It is just a really fun world to be in, though, like you're saying.
I found I have less time to play video games, especially lately, than I would like in many cases as well. And
so you're part of that whole everybody clan that
I need
keep
to
hearing about.
Yeah.
That whole group of people that includes all of us.
Yes. But even more than I thought I'd be able to kind of at the time or at the moment. So all that means is I want to, I probably just, what I need to do is get through it and move on to greener pastures on other games.
Move
and
on
enjoy
to
it for what it
2.
is. What's that?
Move on to Death Stranding 2.
Yep. I have a PS5. It is enticing.
Yeah.
Because it is a compelling story. It's a compelling universe. I love Hideo Kojima, obviously. Like that's pretty clear from all of us.
The all of us.
So anyway, I've been playing. I had played that, but I still didn't finish the game. I said I sunk another 15 or 18 hours in for very little to show for it. I was like, God damn it! All right, I have other games I have to play for the podcast and stuff. And
right.
And then I got into the next one that we're going to cover, and that's been really fun. Honestly,
it's such a cute game.
It is.
I really like it. Yeah, the game that we're referencing, by the way, is Skies of Arcadia, which we will be covering. In the near future.
Available on your local Dreamcast and GameCube
and nowhere
merchants.
Else. For which is so
no other ports. I don't know.
So weird.
You might as well emulate it. No one cares.
except Italy, apparently.
Oh, really?
Did you see the guy who was reviewing Chinese emulation handhelds who got arrested in Italy?
No.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dark. I don't even know what happened, but that's dark.
That's the whole story so far. I mean, he's got a trial coming up, but
Italy arrested him?
Yeah.
Based on a lawsuit from
just
someone else, or just that just violates their laws to own Chinese handhelds for emulation?
With ROMs on them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which, I mean, technically that's everywhere, right? Except China.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess depending on I own 2 different copies of Skies of Arcadia. I own the GameCube and the Dreamcast version of it, so I'm pretty sure I'm actually legally in the right to be emulating it.
You own it so hard.
Yeah. I'm not going to lean into that.
I own it as much as it's possible to own it.
I have such an owner boner.
Yes. Owner boner. I think that's probably something in one of my wife's books.
Stick in your head. Not that. Oh.
The owner boner stuck in my head.
That sounds like a 90s grunge song.
Yeah. Owner boner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And the line is just, stuck in my head.
Like a duck's penis.
We're back to that.
Duck penis.
Well, much like the duck penis, it loops back around. Should we talk about what we're here to talk about?
Yeah, I'm going to die here soon, so we should probably get one more episode of the podcast
before I have to use the paddles on them.
Yeah, that might be happening. So today we are covering one of my games.
Yeah. So
you know right away that it's going to be obscure and kind of C+. If there's a link, a through line with Brent's games, it's that they're yeah, that was sure a game. But so my my game is Escape Velocity Override from 1998, developed by Peter Cartwright and published by Ambrosia Software, which if you know, you know. So I was a Mac kid, and that was a bad time for video games. Probably still is. I don't know, but I don't know anybody who owns a Mac right now, and I don't know why you would. But in the 90s, it was a thing.
There's one guy in the back of the crowd just shaking his head.
There's dozens of us. Dozens.
Oh, stop booing. There's nothing wrong with it. There are dozens of us. Dozens!
He's a never nude. No, but in the 90s, it was a thing. My dad had Macs at work. My mom was an educator, so again, Macs were a big thing in education at the time. But so Ambrosia Software was a producer of video games for the Mac platform, and they were delightfully low budget. You would, if you wanted, so you would download the game, and it would be crippled in some way. It was a shareware kind of thing. In the case of this game specifically, there was some
adorable DRM.
Yes, there was if you didn't register the game, there was a giant battleship that would show up and kill you after a certain length of time. If you didn't register the game, you would boot it up, start playing, and then within 5 minutes, a unkillable massive ship would show up and murder you until you registered. That was their DRM.
That's kind of baller.
And the way that you purchased this game, because this was obviously Steam or anything like that, the way you purchased it was you wrote them a letter and included a check. And then they would send you back a code and a couple floppies.
And half of your family would die on the way across the river you're fording.
Right.
Because we're clearly going to die of dysentery in the Wild West.
Ma got taken by the engines.
Write a letter with a check enclosed to buy a video game.
Yes, and that is how I purchased Escape Velocity Override.
I mean, I was there, Gandalf, and that still sounds ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. You had to use the fucking Western Union telegram and send off for it. It came in the Sears Roebuck catalog. But yeah, so this was part of a series, three-part series, developed by one guy, Peter Cartwright. The games are all in the same engine. They're basically just mods of each other, really. But it's Escape Velocity, EV Override, and EV Nova. Thankfully, EV Nova was released on Windows. Ambrosia Software was starting to have problems in the Mac market, and so they started right at the end. Early 2000s, they started releasing games on Windows as well. And thankfully, what that means is people were able to backport the original two games to the EV Nova engine.
So wasn't it even with Ambrosia's authorization that they actually were able to port it to that Nova plugin?
Yes. Yep. So this is the first game, I think, that we've covered that you can just have. You can just go get this game legally and play it on your Windows or Mac PC. Mac PC feels wrong to say. It's not what I meant to say.
Sounds like an oxymoron.
Yeah, exactly.
You moron.
Not the first time I've been called that. Not even the first time today. It's time for more cider. Okay.
Brent is getting into the hair of the dog, and it's actually time for me to crack mine open too.
What giant beer do you have over there, sir?
It's the first repeat in, I think, maybe ever, but I just got a Kona Big Wave.
I love Kona
because it's really good.
It is.
I feel like here. Let me crack this real quick, and then I had a thought because I think it dovetails nicely with the with the idea of porting this thing and how it's free. I love that they bypassed the little DRM. It's basically so it runs a little script, right? And it's looking for basically a short key that matches an encryption algorithm that's built into the game. If I read this correctly, the DRM is basically not individualized so much as it is just mathematically enabled. So there's a series of keys that can match an algorithm. So this is basically decryption, encryption stuff.
Right.
And some clever soul figured out the algorithm and just wrote a script that at runtime, I think it provides a code to the game every time, doesn't it?
This I don't know.
I think I looked this up. Maybe we should go back and research this, and maybe future Brent can overlay it. But I think some clever soul retro-engineered the algorithm, and there's a script that runs and just bypasses the DRM.
That's
I really hope I'm right, because if I am, if my memory is correct, it was really neat that happened.
yeah. Yeah, that is really
It's
cool.
very primitive, and no one could ever get away with that today, because someone would do exactly what this guy did.
Sure. Yeah.
Break open the script, figure out how it works, and then get games for free.
There were keys available at the time. I mean, like,
I'm sure
it wasn't, even at the time it wasn't particularly secure, but I think it was just they got away with it just by virtue of being so obscure.
In fact, I think some keys are even publicly listed now
Yeah.
that you can use if you have problems, if I remember correctly.
And it's not like it's phoning home to any.
Well, I think that was part of the issue too, is
Yeah.
like they had to find a way to do it with no servers available for the software to talk to.
Well, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that the game phones home at all, because they couldn't depend on you having an internet connection in 1998.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, Ambrosia Software made a lot of really cool, weird stuff. They had a Centipede clone that I loved. They made a game called Mars Rising, and then its sequel Deimos Rising, that were like space RTS games, like a space fleet RTS.
Okay.
That was super cool. But again, like just a really weird. Oh, they made their own RPG maker. For Mac, but it was CRPG, so it was isometric with 3D characters. Like it was basically meant to be able to create your own Baldur's Gate.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's so ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
They were. Yeah, like I say, if you know, you know. If you were there, Gandalf, if you were there in the late 90s, playing video games on the Mac platform, if you were an OS 9 kid, you absolutely remember Ambrosia Software, and this was one of their big titles. So to just talk a little bit about Escape Velocity and what it is, I think it's funny because, Benny, you brought up when we were doing Sid Meier's Pirates, you're like, oh, it's just the same game. And it really kind of is.
Yeah. I believe I called you a cheeky bastard.
Yeah. I'll just keep picking different iterations of the same game. But Escape Velocity is they described it as a space RPG somewhere. And I'm like, I don't think that fits at all. But it's like a trading game combined with a space combat game. You are put into the shoes of a new pilot of a merchant vessel in this conflict-torn future galaxy. And you are tasked with going out and making a living for yourself. You can do that lots of different ways. You can accept just delivery missions that are offered to you at the bar. You can become a pirate and attack other ships. You can be just a straight merchant, buying things where they're cheap and selling them where they're expensive. You're basically given free reign on this, frankly, pretty huge galaxy, given the time and place that it came out.
I think there's over 100 star systems that you can visit.
Yes.
And many of the systems have more than one planet. So I think there's got to be in excess of somewhere like 100, 150 planets to visit, which is substantial for the age of the game and for the size of the game, really.
Yeah. And
you were talking about your pilot. We got to talk about his name.
We got to talk about the names. Yeah. So a recurring theme through the Escape Velocity override, or the Escape Velocity series, is that your pilot has a series of default names that you can randomly click through, and they are all the names that Tom Servo and Crow from Mystery Science Theater gave to the guy who was Captain America on the TV miniseries in the movie Future War. Hey everybody, Future Brent here. Just wanted to do a little mea culpa. My Mystery Science Theater cred is forever stained by the fact that I said Future War when very obviously this was Space Mutiny. For the one person who knows what the fuck that string of nouns meant, if you go watch Future War, the Mystery Science Theater episode, there's a part where there's this large man running down a corridor, and the robots from Mystery Science Theater start yelling his name.
So for example, my most recent one is also my favorite name that I've gotten so far, which was Stud Beef Pile.
Stud Beef Pile.
And that one really makes
Dash Rip Rock. Beef Hard Cheese. And I love as the episode goes on, they get increasingly less creative. And at the very end, Crow yells, Big McLarge Huge.
God. And that's so fucking smart, because they did that deliberately.
Yeah. Big McLarge Huge. I don't know that that's in the Escape Velocity games, but it is one of my favorite things. But yeah, so you take Dash Rip Rock.
Blast Thick Neck.
Crunch butt steak.
Slab Squat Thrust.
Lump Beef Broth.
Touch rust rod.
Reef Blast Body. Big McLarge Huge. Smoke Man Muscle.
Just to kind of give a little plug about the universe, because the universe is very interesting. You've got you start out on Earth, just our Earth in the near future. There's a Star Wars-esque crawl at the beginning that explains the situation, which is that Earth has been locked in this on-again, off-again war against an alien race called the Vionians. Mm-hmm. Constantly pressing right up against the Earth space. And as you explore out, you find out that there are other humans who are independent, that have not been brought into United Earth, and that there is a group of 3 alien races locked in a perpetual conflict called the Strand. I love the Strand, by the way, because the Strand, it's three different species. Their names are all anagrams of each other. So it's the Zitigar, the Agadzra, and the Edzgari. So good. You find the Moranu, who are a race of peaceful merchant traders. That's traders with a D. They didn't do something wrong. They trade things back and forth. And you also meet the Amalgia, who I think are the Harthians from Outer Wilds, because they build their ships out of wood. And let's see here, who else do you meet? Oh, and then of course at the basically north and south poles, so to speak, of our known universe, you have pirates who built their bases in these asteroid belts. Very cool, fully realized world. And as you journey through it and build up your combat rating and build up your good guy rating with different governments, you start unlocking story missions that enable you to not only interact with the world and understand it better, but also affect it. You can start, one of the early ones is you can work with the people of the planet Huron to free them from United Earth and actually make them their own country. You can start... Oh, go ahead.
Much like Sid Meier's Pirates.
Yes.
The landscape and the who occupies a location, the political dynamics are actively shifting and changing, right, and are in flux. So it's very much not a static universe.
Right.
Despite how small a game it is, it's actually a pretty lively game.
Yeah. The reason why I picked it is because this is the game that turned on my game modding light.
Okay. Because
this game had really, really strong modding tools available really early.
Were they first party or did people? Okay.
Because all of the Ambrosia Software games had this intensely loyal, intensely hardcore fan base on early web boards in the 90s, and I was
Early forums.
Yeah, I was one of the crazies, and I was on that on that forum, and we shared these development tools that people in the community had made. And so somewhere out there, probably not, might be on the Internet Archive, I should look. Somewhere there's like a whole campaign mod that I made when I was like 13 for this game that added a whole other series of like 20 planets with interconnected missions that you had to get to through the asteroid belt. You had to punch through the asteroid belt and get to the other side. And then you'd find this whole other alien race with ships that I stole the 3D models from another game and then made them into sprites and put them into this game. And it was so... And this has been a lifelong obsession of mine. Like, I love modding games, adding content to existing games. I talk all the time about like Out of the Park Baseball and Football Manager, which are both sports management sims. If you're on the forums for those games, you've probably interacted with me. I've produced truly insane amounts of content for those games. And this was... Escape Velocity Override was the thing that got me into that and got me into creating content for video games, which is still one of my very favorite things. That led me down the road of like ROM hacks, which is one of my very favorite like subgenres of video games. Led me down the road of just like third-party fan-made content in general. And to me, one of the most exciting, interesting, weird aspects of this hobby is the stuff the fans make. To the point where, like, a lot of the games that I play are like mushrooms sitting on top of the dead tree of the original game, right? Like, I was playing AM2R not too long ago, which is another Metroid 2 remake, which is a fan-made remake of Metroid 2. Zelda Dungeons of Infinity is a roguelike Zelda game that the fans have made. There's so much of this content out there, and I love it. I love the celebration of what the fans are capable of doing, and this is the game that turned me on to that.
People want to understand things or even just see things from a different perspective. One of the ones that I haven't checked in on for a while, and frankly, I haven't been all that close other than like YouTube lurking, but like the fan-made version of Wind Waker, but like drained of the oceans.
Yes.
And like, what would because when you look at the game assets, the world underneath is woefully incomplete. It's obviously it's never meant to be fully realized.
Right.
I mean, you have a limited amount of space on the media that you're presenting to the consumer, and so you have like Hyrule Castle and very little else underneath the surface. But you can see you have the entirety of the mountaintops and all the high, the most pronounced parts of the world. So like, what would that look like? And I guess all I'm saying is like, it's not quite the same, but it speaks to the same kind of mindset, which is like like you said, to celebrate the universe and the game, the property, but also to look at it from a different perspective or to bring more to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that's compelling about it, evidently, that what is self-evident is not enough, and people want to... It's like in-betweening.
Yeah.
Like in animation, like what's in between the frames, and I think that's pretty cool. I've got to look into that, like I said, and see where that ends. But, I mean, does that kind of does that mesh with kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like the idea of wanting to fill gaps or to expand, or, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of different motivations, but
Absolutely.
I didn't get into modding nearly as much. A little bit, but
Yeah.
not to that degree.
Well, and so that's something actually like on the Alpha Centauri episode that Kirk and I had talked about was that him and I had both like gotten really into, and that's another game that like it invites it, right? Like it puts all its assets out for anybody to tinker with. There's a joke there, but I'm too good a man to make it. Puts all its assets on display. Sweet, sweet planet. It's definitely another game that like invites modding, and I think in the same way that like competitive gaming is an aspect of the hobby that draws certain people in and is becomes the main thing that they're, you know, that they kind of eat, sleep, and breathe, right? In the same way, I think modding is an aspect of the hobby that can really hook people, and it certainly was for me. I mean, I remember like staying up way too late, drinking way too many Diet Dr. Peppers, and, you know, adding a lot of content specifically for the Amalgia until very late, you know, many nights on my purple iMac G3 in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it became one of the reasons why this is the hobby that I enjoy the most, and this is part of the reason why we're doing this fucking podcast, right?
Yeah. You know, I think exactly. I actually wanted to talk about that a little bit, like the reason why we're doing this, and kind of why there's even, it feels like there's space for us to have the conversations that we do on the internet. Space. I love Wheatley. There's some people out there that are like, who the fuck are you talking about? And then the rest of you are like, yes.
Well, Wheatley's my
Your
avatar on Steam. Yeah.
I love it.
I love Wheatley.
So misunderstood. Except when he's an asshole.
Except when he's evil.
Where's I going with that? So it's clear that some of these games are going to be gateway games.
Right.
They're our gateway drug
Right.
into deeper things. Without this game for you, there may not have been Ocarina of Time.
Right.
Same thing with, like, you know, we will eventually play Commander Keen or something on here. And same thing with, like, without Commander Keen, there probably would not have been Ocarina of Time for me either.
Right.
And it exposes that there's not a monoculture to video gaming the way that, like, it was so often represented, especially at the time, and especially when we were kids. Like, just, are you playing Nintendo again? Like,
right.
Not my parents don't have accents like that.
My parents don't either, but when you say, are you playing that there Nintendo, that is the correct accent to have.
This is the it's the in the parlance of the parent.
Right. In the parlance of our time.
But, like, clearly it's, like, gaming's not a monoculture. God, here we go.
Right.
This is the fucking
This is
pretentious
the thing
bullshit.
Kirk
needs to be over here just being like, fuck you. You fucking dweeb.
I think we should really go deep into it just so that
We should get some sound bites from Kirk so you can sprinkle them in. Just to hold us accountable.
Kirk, I'm going to send you this early, and I want you to just react, and then I'm going to put that in here.
I love that, actually. If you have the time. I think.
Future Kirk here, fuck these guys.
Yes. We probably deserve it. But I wanted to, I did want to address that. Like, the idea that gaming was a monoculture is something that we intuitively knew from a young age is just not the case.
And it certainly felt like that was the societal view on it. That it's like, oh, it's all the same. Like, and it's all, and it felt like, especially like this time period, like late 90s, it felt like if you liked video games, that meant that you must be an FPS guy. Like that was the only thing that existed, and that they were, I don't know. There was this like through line that everybody expected of like enjoying video games meant you were socially awkward, probably wanted to shoot up your school, smelly, bad with girls or boys or whoever, your romantic attachments. And only 2 of those 3 were true of me at any point in time.
The deadly triad was never completed for Brent.
I never wanted to shoot up my school. Mostly because it was my house.
Oh, God. That changes the dynamic a bit. Yeah. But all the same, graphically speaking, the divergence in genres and types of gaming was not nearly as wide as it is today. But the modding speaks to a desire for there to be more divergence and a lack of uniformity, or a desire for more uniqueness in the thing that you're doing. So like I love Bethesda for a couple things they do, other than even though like sometimes they're a monstrous company, but they've always released, or at least since like Morrowind, they've released their construction kits with the games natively supporting modding, and it's just been available from the get-go. And I think that does speak to a higher level of understanding of their fans than some other companies. Like that, for one, being realistic about the fact that Nintendo learned this the hard way. Like, do all the security you want to do. Like, lock things down as much as you want. If you're going to put something directly in the hands of consumers, they're just going to find a way to break into it. They're going to find a way to change it. Legislate it all you fucking want. Some guy in a basement somewhere does not give a shit what you want about the thing that he turned into his property. Yeah. He purchased a thing, or didn't, but like, and he doesn't care about his contractual rights under a EULA. He's going to break your shit open. And if you steer into the skid, you might keep people happier. Absolutely. And you end up with some fucking cool stuff.
Well, it's like, speaking of Bethesda, like the, because that's Elder Scrolls, right?
Elder Scrolls and Fallout specifically.
Yeah. Okay. Because like have you seen and it's so funny because they just did the remaster of Oblivion. Yeah. But have you seen the project to rebuild Oblivion in the Skyrim engine? Yes. And they've leaned into it. They're like, that's really cool. You should do that.
I think they're also there's been several initiatives to rebuild previous games in newer engines. So like Morrowind in the Skyrim engine, or maybe it was even earlier than that, but like Morrowind in the Oblivion engine. But there was the desire to revisit these places with greater fidelity and more modern takes at any given time on, or at least with like the modern capabilities, of those engines.
But okay, I've rambled for like an hour. Benny, how did you find EV Override? Like, what are your takeaways from it?
I kind of feel very similar to how I for obvious reasons, and I said it outright. I feel like it's very similar to Sid Meier's Pirates. Yeah. Although, I mean, obviously, like temporally, it goes the other way around. That this came first, but
though, because the original Pirates came out in the 80s.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, the Pirates we played was a remake. So I think this is probably heavily influenced by Pirates.
I guess that could be the case. Yeah. But then we kind of have the same thing happening there, where it's like the snake eating its own tail a little bit, because graphically speaking, there's very little in common with the experience. I mean, it is just an overlay to an extent, sure, but it's a dramatically different experience by virtue of it being how you interact with it being very different. All that's to say that I like it a lot to like, it's a lot of fun to get in there. Yeah. it's a little bit. It's a difficult game to get. Like you're going to hit a bit of a learning curve and a wall. You are not going to be able to interact with the game without going into the menu and looking at the key bindings to start. And the dynamics, like I didn't ever get that far into the into like the storyline, like into the campaign, so to speak.
Yeah.
For one, because there's no right or wrong way to play this game.
Yeah.
It's specifically meant to be open-ended, right? And like that's what all the media says about it. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So like I had a lot of fun just upgrading my ship and changing out to newer and better ships. And although I still like the Scout because it's so cool.
What was your favorite ship that you wound up using?
Honestly, the Scout, just because it's like because it's sleek and easy early on. And I've played this twice, and I got further into some further reaches of the galaxy the first time, and I got at least one or two of like the ships that would just be flat out unavailable in like the UE space.
Yes.
And I don't remember which ones because I don't have that game anymore.
Yeah.
But I still think I like, my feelings are a little bit mixed, but in general, once you get over that learning curve, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. How do you progress? Do you have to just continue completing a certain number of like UE contracts to move on to the next and then get to a port, or is it certain ports? I can't remember how to make it all the way into like deeper parts of the plot.
So the thing is that the flags, and so this is again part of the thing that I love about this game is the modding tools that are, I think, mostly unavailable anymore. But you could see what all the flags were for all the missions.
Okay.
All the flags are set based on your combat rating and your... so when you open up your save game file, it'll say your combat rating and your legal status in the space that you are.
Okay, yeah.
And those are the two flags. So, and then you have to like... you have to have, as with any RPG kind of thing, you have to have the mission before you can get to the next mission, right? But so once you get to a certain combat status and a certain good guy rating is what it's called, you open up mission paths, and those mission paths lock each other out. So you can decide to go work for the Vionians. You can conquer Earth.
I know that there's even like I was doing a little research because I know it's an open-ended game and there's things I never would have gotten to.
Yeah,
where you can liberate worlds owned by Earth and deliver them basically to like the Vionians or like another one of the species.
Yeah, but so at this point I've played so many thousands of hours of this game that I just know what I need to go do.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it is very obfuscated.
What I should have done, I should have messaged you and been like, hey, like, give me some combat pointers, because I found that I was bad enough and I struggled enough with combat that I avoided it, and my gameplay was mostly focused on, not even on trade, I was mostly a courier.
Yeah.
And because I found that if you complete the urgent requests successfully, you can really rake in a lot of money really fast and get on an upgrade path to where you can basically have all the upgrades for a ship pretty quickly.
Yeah. No, okay, I love this. So this was the big complaint about the Escape Velocity series at the time on the forums. And everybody talked about you just had to Monty Python it. You just had to Monty Python called the combat, which means you would get the turrets. This is still how I play the game to this day. You get all the turrets, and then you run away from the bad guys, firing the turrets, and you just make sure that you're running away ever so slightly slower than they can go. So you wind up with a big row of enemies following you that get shredded by your guns as they come close to you.
Because the turrets auto aim and auto fire, right?
Yes. Yeah. So what I would always do is that you'd go to the Strand or the Muranu space and get their turrets because they have the longest range in the game. And then you just, slowly run away from everybody. They line up behind you and get shredded by your guns.
You're creating a lethal corridor because the AI is not smart enough to be like, oh, this is lethal. This is definitely going to result in my death.
I'm certain everybody who listens to our fucking podcast gets the reference, but if you don't, the reason it's called the Monty Python is from Holy Grail, where they have the rabbit that keeps trying to kill everybody, mostly successfully, and the strategy is run away, and then maybe we can confuse it by running away more.
Run away!
Would it help to confuse it if we ran away more?
Oh, shut up and go and change your armor.
That is the combat strategy. But no, the AI in the game is just laughably bad, and that's why I think this is one of those games where
it's like computer Pong level.
Yes. This is one of those games where normally when people are like, "Oh, we want to remake this thing," any form of media, right? Doesn't have to be video games. Anything. Oh, we're going to remake this. I always kind of grit my teeth and go, okay. Could you not, though? Would it be okay if you didn't? Because you're going to...
Cool, but I'd rather have something new.
Yeah, and you're going to mess up whatever it is that made it special in the first place, right? This is a game that I think is, frankly, too dated for 99% of people to step into. Because it was, even at the time, in 1998, this game felt no budget, made in somebody's basement, because it was. Peter Cartwright just made this game. One guy made this fucking game, which is why it's got all the weird goofiness to it. Why it's got, as an example, there's a planet you can go to, and it's a pirate planet. This really is like Sid Meier's Pirates. And you can buy parrots. Because, of course, the pirates, the space pirates...
Have parrots.
Because
why would they not?
Why would they not? Like, this game has goofiness and rough edges to it. It has bad AI. It has just, like... It feels like I say, it feels like a no-budget game made in somebody's basement because it was. But it also has, like, such cool ideas. Its ideas outrun its ability to, like...
Yeah.
Live them, which I think is part of the reason why it had such an active modding community, because we all felt the grandness of its ideas even when it wasn't able to achieve them.
Well, and like you said, it might be beyond remaking, not because you couldn't do it, not even because it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of exists in a lot of ways. Like there's the space trader, dynamic, and like the developing and constantly influx galaxy and galactic politics and everything. These things exist, the combat, these things all exist, upgrading a ship in other games that are much more modern. Elite Dangerous being one of them. There being several dozen others as well. I'm trying to think of what one of the... Star Citizen is probably another very close example. Hell, even like No Man's Sky, like all these things are like looking at an open-ended galaxy. All these mechanics already exist, and to recreate it would be to maybe miss the fact that you don't need to.
Yeah.
Maybe to expand upon it, there'd be maybe a cool, like, to refresh or revive the IP would not be a bad thing, but to remake it, maybe it'd be cool to make it in like 2.5D or something, kind of like an Asteroids or something thing, and maybe some newer graphics, but ultimately like have the same guts.
I think
would be neat, but
I think this game would do really, really well with a, double A full 3D remake with good ship-to-ship combat.
Like, some targeting and like some good particle effects and stuff.
Yeah,
and ultimately, a modest budget could get you a long way.
Yeah, like even if it was actually funny enough, so one of the things that people who haven't played this game before often comment on when they do play it is the hilarious misscaling of everything, where the ships are bigger than the planets.
Yeah.
Outer Wilds. Make escape velocity override in the Outer Wilds engine. That would be amazing.
Holy shit, that would be ridiculous.
That would be so good. I would love that. So I want to talk just a little bit about the legacy of it, because it does have kind of a long shadow. This is actually the second game in the series. I did mention that. I think that this is the original Escape Velocity. I think came out in like '96. I don't like that one very much.
Okay.
It's the exact same engine.
Yeah.
And it looks very, very similar. It's a simpler universe. And I like the more complex universe of Override. EV Nova, I think, leaned a little too far that direction, and I'm just not a huge fan of that one either. They're all good games. They're all very, very similar. But in the intervening, God, what is it? 25 years since EV Nova came out, the third game in the series. Holy shit, I'm old. I'm an old person. Fucking geriatric. Jesus Christ. Sorry. A little bit of a meltdown here. Okay. In the intervening 25 years, there's been a number of attempts to revive it. Peter Cartwright has a Kickstarter that I don't know if it ever went anywhere, that he started a couple years ago for a game called Cosmic Override that was very clearly a remake of EV Override specifically, which I think is interesting that he did go with the middle game in the series.
Okay.
So there must be some feeling that this is the best one, if that's the one that he wanted to remake. It has some really cool concept art. I might post the link to the Kickstarter in this as well, just because it's interesting to check out. There's also, and this is probably the more exciting development in the intervening years, there's also a open source fan game that is meant to be a continuation of the Escape Velocity series called Endless Sky. Endless Sky is available on Steam. It's free. Go pick it up. It's really fucking cool how the fans have kept this one alive.
For being kind of a little thing, it seems like it's got a lot of staying power for the community, like however small that community is. Yeah. It sounds like it's got a lot of staying power within that community.
There is something to these little communities that like these communities of people who've all stumbled on this one weird thing and obsess over it, and those are my people. The people who find the weird, obscure shit and love it and curate it and care for it and tend their little gardens of their obscure, crazy shit. The railroad, the fucking miniature railroad people.
Yeah.
These are my people. The ones who are like, yeah, I play Dungeons and Dragons, but only 2nd edition, because that's the good one.
There's clearly something in our brains that like is, well, broken, but also like preservationist.
Yes. Yeah. The people who, obviously, I have a fucking retro gaming podcast, right? Like, the people who stopped developing in, like, 2002, they're my people.
You mean as people?
Yes. Not even with technology. But it's... That's what draws me to this game still, is the community, the love that they have for it, and just the fact that it has this weird hold on this aging, balding, probably beardy collection of people regardless of gender, who...
Damn, man.
I was going to say, way to make a joke and then laugh at it yourself, Brent. Who love this game. And I invite you, as a self-appointed ambassador of the Escape Velocity community, I invite you, come play with us forever and ever.
Brent's giving you the politest ever. Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
No, I think that's kind of my take on that. That's really my final thought is like it gave us a lot to talk about. Kind of tough, but really charming. Brent's a lunatic.
These are all true things. And I have Zombie by the Cranberries stuck in my head now because of you saying undead.
Because of Kirk. He's an undead wasp zombie.
He is a wasp zombie.
Yeah.
Kirk, I hope you're feeling better. If you're not feeling better by the time this episode comes out, I will come visit you and, I don't know, feed you liquor or something. But you need to, yes.
Pee on you again.
Pee on you more.
Yeah. Just to make sure it really get in there.
I drive over to your house with a case of Gatorade.
Just get the wasp venom out. I'm just imagining Kirk just sitting there like, I'm not sure this is better.
I think I'd rather just be stung again. Okay. If you like what we're doing... I just want to say, Kirk, I miss you, buddy. I am excited to talk about 1999 and Skies of Arcadia with you. We'll be doing that probably before you hear this episode, but
we'll never forget you.
But this was
in our hearts, Kirk.
This was a lot of fun, but it would have been more fun with you. For the people who like what we're doing, we like you back. We like you so much. We like you so much.
Like, what are you doing later?
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering. Like, I'm kidding. I don't want to go out either. That's. Like how I just rejected myself in my own joke.
What are you doing later? 'Cause fuck me. But don't. I mean, wait, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna be sweaty. That's what I'm gonna be doing later. I'm gonna be sweaty somewhere. I'm gonna sweat out alcohol. I'm gonna lay face down on my bed.
That should be more upsetting, but it's hotter than fucking Kansas City right now. So
yeah, I'm gonna lay face down somewhere, and I was up till very late last night.
Your kids have a little wading pool. You should just put that in the front yard and just sit in it all day.
God, that sounds so good. Can we just? This is a basement. It's basically a pool. I'll just run the hose down here.
Fill it up. Yeah. Fill her up.
Fuck it. Yeah, and the fact that there's an open sewage drain over there shouldn't concern us at all.
Not going to be a problem.
No. Not for as long as I'm going to live, anyway. All right, this went even more off the rails than I expected, which is pretty impressive.
You're going to have to do some surgery to get this one into shape.
I have the worst cotton mouth. It's like I was fucking smoking weed until 6 a.m. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay. But yeah, no, if you like what we're doing, I'm not, you know what? I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done doing the like and comment and subscribe and check us out. You're hearing my voice. So you're one of the good ones. Thank you. I appreciate you. We like you a lot. My only ask.
You survived listened until the end.
Yeah. If you're hearing me right now, you like me more than I do. Let's be
Damn.
Let's be clear. Come on Discord. Like, I mean, don't like wipe your monitor off if that actually happened, but like go to
visit
Discord.
Us.
Yes.
And engage in conversation.
I don't want you to come on me. I just want you to go to Discord.
Engage in some memery.
Yes. Send me video game memes. Also, what did you think of the Zelda casting, Benny? Did you see that?
I saw a bunch of joke ones, and I don't know which one is real at this point.
Nintendo announced the casting for Link and Zelda, and they are adorable, relatively unknown teenage white people, and I'm like, perfect,
Cool.
sounds good,
Works for me.
I'm like, I don't want anybody that I've ever heard of before. I don't want fucking get that fucking we need Spider-Man to be Link shit out of my face. I don't want him. I don't want Timothée Chalamet. I don't want anybody with an ego.
They're also too old to be
yes, they're fucking in their 30s. Yeah, no. And I like the fact the kid who's going to be Link is like 5 years younger than the girl who's Zelda. They're like 21 and 16. And
okay.
That's perfect. That's
That'll be
exactly, yep. Because it's like, there's most of the video games in the series that makes more sense. That she should be a little older than him. I want them to just make a fucking dark fantasy film, like an 80s style dark fantasy. Make Legend or Excalibur or
Give me Dark Crystal, Legend of Zelda.
yes, exactly. Yeah, Dark Crystal, Willow. Like, give me that with and keep Tingle out of it, please. That's my only.
God.
That's my only.
What a monster. Like the Jar Jar Binks of Legend of Zelda. I'm sorry, but go fuck yourself, you little green bodysuited weirdo.
I've never heard that before, but it's so perfect.
Made sense in my brain. It must be salient. I don't know. Fucker, I hate that guy.
And here's the thing too. Like, I love Ocarina of Time. It's my favorite. You know what would be a better movie? Is Majora's Mask. Even though I hate that game, Majora's Mask would make a better movie.
That actually is really true because the conflict and like the impending doom is like a very compelling storyline.
Yeah, and Skull Kid is arguably the best villain in the series.
Very creepy.
Yeah,
and unique among most of the games.
I saw somebody say Dave Bautista as Ganondorf, and I was like, yes, 100% yes.
Yeah, that would work, actually.
He can actually act, but he's got that big, like, physically imposing presence. Which, yeah. Dave Bautista, Ganondorf. You heard it here first. Except if you read that thing that the other guy said. Then you heard it there first. I'm getting out of here. Help, I'm trapped in this podcast and I can't get out. All right.
It keeps happening to us.
It does.
See y'all.
All right. Bye! Okay, so
Brent changed directions twice. In like
you're
3
familiar with
seconds.
Cowboy Bebop, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the bit where there's the girl about to kick Spike's ass, and he's like, "I love a woman who can just fucking kill me," or whatever he says, like, "Oh, I can kick my ass," or whatever. He has some like throwaway line where it's like, "Oh, somebody took that clip and made like a 2-minute GIF of it." And they found somebody who sounds exactly like the voice actor who does Spike. And it's like, "I love a woman who can just kick my ass. I want it to get embarrassing. I want you to be able to beat the shit out of me. I'm going to piss myself. I want you to call me your little pee-pee piss boy." And like,
I think I've seen this.
it just keeps going. And I'm like howling, laughing, watching this. And then the top rated comment on it was another homemade GIF of Cowboy Bebop, where they again found somebody who sounds just like Spike. It's a pretty easy voice to do.
I'd say you were doing an appreciably convincing voice.
But it's like, you didn't need to post that. We can't go back. We just have to live with it now. And I was just like, this is amazing.